The Affleck duck, right? He must have just tons of followers on Twitter.
300,000 fans or something, and he just got there, I think, a year and a half ago or something.
Right, very quick run. But these companies are shrewd because they realize that people don't want to follow on social media some PR person who's just like saying, buy my product. I mean, this is very clever.
Right. At the end of the day, you know, they're basically resurrecting this old gimmick from the 50s, right? It never really went away, but all of a sudden it's on fire. Years ago, you know, I talked to young creatives and they'd be like, oh my God, who wants to do an icon? Who wants to do a mascot? It was so passé. But now social media is giving them new life because there's all these ways to bring them to life. You know, have them on Twitter, have them on Facebook, and they get to interact. And I think it was Jeff Charney at Progressive Insurance who said it best, like, who really wants to talk to a logo on Facebook? So having a character sort of helps that emotional bonding issue that advertisers are having when they go to social media.
And people think it's cute. I mean, we saw with the Bronx Zoo Cobra, when that Cobra escaped, somebody's put up a Bronx Zoo Cobra. If it had just been the zoo people saying like, oh, well, we'll get him back soon.
We need a Cobra.
Who would care, right? There is, though, there's a method behind the madness. It's not as easy as you think. It doesn't just happen. They've got to hire somebody who's got to be very creative to sort of talk in a way that the duck or the tree might talk.
And it's expensive. I mean, the fact of the matter is you can't just have a character and throw them online. You know, the ones that we all remember and the ones that we really like, there's hundreds of millions of dollars put behind them on TV and print to sort of develop the relationship first. And then you have to hire a whole load of people. It's particularly one person that's going to be the voice of this character. Diageo's got 8 people planning the calendar at their agency and one guy specifically who's half comedian, half ad guy, I guess. Who's basically the voice, because you don't want it to be completely sell, right? Everybody knows if you go to Facebook, like, really don't want you to sell me there. That's the big danger here. I think advertisers are trying to figure out, what do I do on Facebook? How is that different from how do I act in, you know, in other mediums? And they're just figuring out or coming to this rationalization that, oh, if I have a product, they can be a little bit more about, you know, selling, but they can do it in a kind of a softer way.
Totally, a softer way. Very quickly, Suzanne, what are 3 or just a couple of the mascots that have been very successful so far doing this?
Successful online, you look at Flo from Progressive. I don't know if men have like a newfound love affair or something, but she's got like 3.5 million fans, you know. Who knows, maybe they're buying likes or something. The fact of the matter is, you've got Affleck that's doing really well, the Geico Gecko does well. You know, Procter & Gamble, you saw how well their Old Spice guy did. You know, put a half-naked guy on television and it just sells soap and deodorant really well. He had a great social media presence, and they credit a lot of the social media stuff to driving sales.